right, so most organizations have some way to measure the quality of their creative product, their advertising campaign, whatever those creative elements are. And they have different labels and different ways of kind of stratifying, good creative work versus bad. And this is helpful to start the conversation and have a good kind of reference point when talking to creatives and trying to optimize the work and make things better. But this is based on the assumption that all the work that you're seeing is on strategy. So as strategists, what we really need to do is we need to help provide feedback about the implementation of the idea and how well that creative is being expressed and coming to life. But we also have to look at the intention of the creative idea, right? So is it on strategy or is it off strategy? And those are really the two dimensions that you really need to think about as a strategist. If you want to give good feedback, you can't just get sucked into how great is the creative and the sexiness of the creative product. You also have to keep in mind, again, as a strategist, your role is to make sure that not just the implementation is strong, but the intention of the campaign is strong. Is it on strategy or off strategy? And if you have this framework in your head as you are looking at potential campaigns and creative directions, then it's easy to figure out how things need to be optimized and be able to give good constructive feedback, right? So if you have a campaign or creative idea that kind of falls in this quadrant, it's bad creatively, or it's off strategy, and actually both, then obviously that's kind of like a back to the drawing board sort of situation. But if you're living in one of these other quadrants, it's very clear about what you need to do, right? So if it's good creative work, but it's off strategy, the directive for the creatives is how do you make sure that creative device is delivering the right message in the right way and it's relevant to the audience. On the other extreme here, you may have something that is very much on strategy, making a relevant point and communicating a relevant message, but it might not be cutting through the clutter as much, so the direction to the creatives might be about how to up the creative factor, make sure that it's cutting through the clutter and differentiating the brand in the marketplace and that sort of thing. And of course, if you have something in the top right, you know that you're on track. So this is a very simple construct that is good to keep in the back of your head whenever you're looking at different potential creative options. Again, the point being, don't just look at whether you think it's good creative versus bad creative, but you also have to keep in mind, is it on strategy or off strategy? And if you have both of those criteria in your mind as you're starting to look at different creative campaigns, you're going to be much better off in providing more constructive feedback for your teams, which will ultimately lead to better work.